Behind the bright promises of progress and sustainability, a bigger story is taking shape, one that mixes ancient traditions with unstoppable ambition. This isn't just any city. It's Saudi Arabia's biggest and most daring project yet, a completely new city rising in Neom. The country is investing an incredible $500 billion, possibly even $1.5 trillion, to turn this vision into reality. But why build it in this remote location? And most importantly, what is the real cost of creating the future? Join us as we unravel why Saudi Arabia is undertaking such a massive multi-trillion-dollar project in the desert. Neom Vision. In the heart of Saudi Arabia's vast and unforgiving northwest desert, an extraordinary dream is rising from the sand, one that could change the course of civilization itself. This is Neom, a trillion-dollar megacity unlike anything the world has ever seen. Designed to push the limits of technology, sustainability, and human ambition, Neom is being built on an unprecedented scale, promising to redefine urban living in ways that once seemed impossible. Fueled by the country's immense oil wealth, the Saudi government is pouring vast resources into this futuristic project, aiming to create a city powered entirely by renewable energy, artificial intelligence, and cutting-edge technology. While skeptics have dismissed Neom as nothing more than a grand illusion, an impossible dream born of royal ambition, satellite images tell a different story. From space, the sheer scale of the construction is undeniable. Something massive is taking shape, a vision that could reshape not just Saudi Arabia, but the future of human civilization itself. The idea of constructing a futuristic metropolis in one of the harshest environments on Earth has left many puzzled. The extreme heat, lack of water, and logistical challenges make this an incredibly difficult undertaking. For decades, the country has relied on oil, but with the world shifting toward renewable energy, the kingdom is racing to create a new future, one driven by technology, sustainability, and global innovation. Neom isn't just one city, it's an entire region composed of multiple revolutionary projects. The Line, a 170-kilometer-long linear city with no cars, roads, or pollution, promising a radical new way of urban living. Oxagon, a floating industrial hub designed to revolutionize global trade and manufacturing. Trojana, a high-tech mountain resort that will bring winter sports to the desert. Neom is more than just an architectural marvel. It represents a new way of thinking about human civilization. It envisions a world where technology and nature exist in harmony, where advanced AI systems manage daily life, and where sustainability is not just an idea but a reality. However, building such a city from scratch is no small feat. Engineers and developers face overwhelming challenges, from sourcing water to constructing entire ecosystems in a place where nothing should logically thrive. Despite the odds, progress is happening at a breathtaking pace. Massive infrastructure projects are underway, and the desert landscape is being transformed day by day. Some of the most advanced engineering and construction techniques in history are being deployed to bring this vision to life, creating one of the most ambitious developments humanity has ever attempted. Yet beneath all this innovation lies an ancient land, one with its own untold stories, secrets buried beneath the sands. As Neom rises, it does not simply mark the future. It stands at the intersection of the past and what's to come, a place where history and ambition collide. Will Neom succeed in its bold mission, or will it remain a mirage, an unfulfilled dream lost to the desert winds? Let's find out. The setting of Neom, the vast Saudi Arabian desert with its endless stretches of sand and extreme weather, has been home to nomadic tribes for centuries. Life here is shaped by towering dunes, rugged mountains, and hidden valleys that hold the secrets of survival in one of the world's harshest environments. For generations, the Bedouins have traveled across this land, relying on its limited resources, while preserving traditions that go back thousands of years. Solom, a local guide who was born in a desert tent, knows every dune, canyon, and water source. He is the perfect companion to explore both the untouched wilderness and the rapidly changing landscape of Neom. As we venture deeper into the desert, the contrast between modern development and nature becomes striking. Newly paved roads, not yet marked on Google Maps, cut through the landscape, leading to massive construction zones. The sight of countless trucks, excavators, and heavy machinery moving through what was once an isolated region is overwhelming. Yet, Despite all the rapid development, the desert remains vast and quiet, with only the wind and the distant hum of construction breaking the silence. In the heart of the desert, where Bedouin life remains untouched by modernity, we set up camp in a secluded canyon surrounded by towering red rock formations. Here, we sleep under the stars, cook camel meat over an open fire, and drink rich, cardamom-infused Saudi coffee. The hospitality of the Bedouins is legendary, rooted in centuries of surviving in such a harsh environment. As tea is poured and stories are shared, one thing becomes clear. Their bond with the land runs deeper than any city ever could. However, change is inevitable. Some Bedouins have moved to the cities for education and work, while others, like Solom, try to balance modern life with their desert heritage. With Neom rising nearby, the desert is no longer a remote wilderness. It has become the center of a dramatic clash between ancient traditions and futuristic ambitions. As we gaze at the star-filled sky, we wonder whether this way of life will endure the rapid changes reshaping the land. Driving into Neom, the first thing that stands out is the sheer scale of construction. Thousands of dump trucks, excavators, and cargo haulers move in an endless cycle, shifting sand and rock to make way for a city that does not yet exist. Roads appear almost overnight, with entire highways stretching through places that are still blank on digital maps. It feels like an entirely new civilization is being built at lightning speed. Saudi Arabia isn't just constructing a city, it is transforming an entire region. One of the most ambitious parts of Neom is the Line, a futuristic 170-kilometer-long city being carved straight into the desert. The excavation work is staggering, with crews working around the clock, moving earth on a scale that looks like the birth of a new mountain range. Enormous trenches stretch as far as the eye can see, marking the beginning of a high-tech, AI-driven, car-free metropolis. If completed as planned, the line will house 10 million people, run entirely on renewable energy, and feature vertical layers of homes, offices, and green spaces. But for now, it remains a massive construction site of unbelievable proportions. Stretching nearly 500 kilometers along Saudi Arabia's northern Red Sea coast, Neom is more than just one city. It is a collection of futuristic megaprojects. Oxagon, a floating industrial city, is rising on the Red Sea, designed to be the world's most advanced automated port. Sindala, a luxury island resort, is nearing completion, promising to be an exclusive getaway for the ultra-wealthy, with yacht marinas and high-end resorts. Another bold project, Trojena, is under construction as a winter tourism hub, complete with artificial ski slopes and a massive man-made lake. Despite these grand plans, many question whether such an enormous project can truly succeed. Building a city from scratch in one of the harshest climates on Earth is a massive challenge, and skeptics doubt whether Neom can overcome its logistical and environmental obstacles. Yet construction continues at an unstoppable pace. The Saudi government is fully committed, betting that Neom will redefine what a city can be. As fleets of machines work day and night, kicking up endless clouds of dust, one thing is clear: this is not just another mega project. Is it an attempt to turn the impossible into reality? Well, let's explore further. Neom Project Challenges. Neom is one of the most ambitious projects the world has ever seen. A futuristic mega city promising cutting-edge technology, sustainable living, and a glimpse into the future. But with such a grand vision comes an equally staggering cost. Originally expected to cost around $500 billion, the project's budget has now skyrocketed to an estimated $1.5 trillion. This massive jump in expenses has sparked serious doubts about whether Neom is financially feasible. Saudi Arabia is using its vast oil wealth to get the project off the ground, but for Neom to truly succeed, it needs more than just government funding. It needs global investors, businesses, and residents to believe in the dream. The real challenge is convincing the world that Neom isn't just an extravagant idea, but a worthwhile, long-term investment. If it fails to attract international funding and support, it could go down in history as one of the most expensive, unfinished projects ever attempted. Beyond money, Neom faces another massive hurdle. The city promises to run entirely on renewable energy, be built with the latest AI-driven systems, and introduce groundbreaking infrastructure, including flying taxis, ultra-fast underground transport, and a fully automated city management system. While these ideas sound revolutionary, they also raise serious questions. Then there's the challenge of its location. Building a high-tech city in the middle of the desert isn't just ambitious, it's incredibly difficult. The region is plagued by extreme heat, relentless sandstorms, and chronic water shortages, all of which make large-scale urban development a logistical nightmare. Despite these obstacles, construction is moving at a relentless pace. But whether Neom can truly deliver on its promises remains uncertain. The city is designed to house millions, built around the revolutionary line concept, a futuristic, linear city stretching 170 kilometers across the desert. But unlike cities like Dubai, which evolved over decades and built a reputation as a global hub, Neom is being built from scratch. There's no existing economy, culture, or community. Saudi Arabia is offering high salaries, tax breaks, and other incentives to attract workers and investors. But that alone may not be enough. Neom needs to create a thriving, permanent metropolis, not just a temporary futuristic experiment. And then there are Saudi Arabia's political and social realities. While the country has made some moves toward modernization, its strict laws, human rights concerns, and lack of freedom of speech continue to deter many potential residents and businesses. But perhaps the most controversial part of Neom's rise isn't its cost or its futuristic vision. It's the people who have been forced to leave their homes to make way for it. Entire villages have been demolished, and thousands of residents, many from ancient Bedouin tribes who have lived in the region for generations, have been displaced. The Saudi government has offered financial compensation, urging them to move to modern housing elsewhere. But for many, this isn't just about losing a home. It's about losing their history, their culture, and their way of life. Some have accepted the compensation and moved on, but others have resisted, leading to protests, arrests, and even violent confrontations. One of the most well-known cases is that of Abdul Rahim al-Huwaiti, a resident who openly criticized the government's forced evictions on social media. In a country where dissent is dangerous, his defiance was a bold act, one that ultimately cost him his life. Saudi security forces engaged in a shootout with al-Huwaiti, killing him in what the government claimed was a counter-terrorism operation. His death drew international attention, making him a symbol of resistance against Neom's rapid expansion. At least 47 others have been arrested for opposing the project, with 5 facing the death penalty. While Saudi authorities label them as criminals, human rights organizations argue they are victims of an authoritarian regime silencing its own people. On the surface, Neom presents itself as a utopian dream, a city of the future where technology, sustainability, and human progress come together. But beneath that vision lies a foundation of controversy, sacrifice, and suppression. The Saudi government remains determined, believing that sacrifices must be made for progress. It is pushing ahead, trying to attract global investors, tourists, and skilled professionals, while justifying the transformation in the face of rising social and human costs. Construction is moving forward with unstoppable momentum. What do you think about Saudi Arabia's trillion-dollar mega project in Neom? Let us know your answer in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.